This morning, we'd like to welcome Governor Gretchen Whitmer.
Governor, thanks for joining us here this morning and giving your time to speak with us.
And we'd like to start. Good morning. We'd like to start with this alarming surge of coronavirus cases. Yesterday, we hit a record number. Our viewers are looking at a graph that shows the troubling spike. Are we looking at a potential second shutdown?
Well, here's what we're dealing with. The immediate concern, of course, is that COVID is spreading across Michigan. We've always known that COVID was still a very real threat. And if we drop our guard, we're going to see an increase in COVID numbers. As we come inside, we're going to see an increase in our COVID numbers. As we embark on flu season, if an increase becomes so large, it's going to be incredibly dangerous for every one of us, whether you get COVID or not. And that's why right now we have to double down on mask wearing, on not having gatherings, having real physical distancing, ensuring that we're hand washing. We have pushed our curve down in the past. So that the good news is we've learned a lot about this virus. We know what it takes. But we need everyone to do their part so that we can avoid having to take steps backward. And that's, I think, the call to action. And that's the alarming part of these numbers. We all have to be a part of bringing these numbers down.
Governor, without some of your executive powers that you had at the beginning of the pandemic, what are the options going forward here?
Yeah, well, there's no question that all of the lawsuits that have come and the unfortunate decision of our Supreme Court, which was on a party line vote, a slim majority, really doing a lot of mental gymnastics to get the result that they wanted, has created confusion, and people aren't sure if there is still a mask mandate. There is. We have epidemic powers that the Director of Health and Human Services is using to encourage, to continue our mask mandate. It's got the force of law. There are limitations on public gatherings. As we, navigate our next steps, if these numbers continue to rise and our health systems are under duress, then the director will issue additional orders that could mean moving backwards. And that's what I'm hoping to avoid. I don't think. Well, there are a lot of things that we can find disagreement on over the last 8 months. I think we're unanimous that no one wants to see us take steps backwards. But if COVID is growing uncontrolled across our state, that will be necessary, and that's what we're trying to avoid.
Just to follow up there, given the responses that we saw to your previous shutdown orders, which we should say independent studies showed saved lives, but now that you'll be forced to work with Republicans in the state legislature, will they, do you think, be willing to take similar measures that you took early on to curb this new spike?
I'm hopeful, but I do think that what happens on November 3rd is going to impact how eager they will be, or how whether or not they won't be willing to work with me on this. The fact of the matter is this election is really important. We are 8 months into COVID-19, and we still don't have, as a nation, a national strategy. It's been on governors to take action, and certainly we've seen attacks on my authority to do that. I'm trying to save lives here. It's my fervent hope that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris win this election so that we can have a national strategy. And that's not simply a statement of being a Democrat. That's a statement acknowledging that anyone who wants their child to be in school learning, anyone who wants their business to thrive, anyone who wants to protect their family and their health care has a personal stake in this election. And I think it's going to be really important that we go to the ballot box right now before Election Day, cast our votes, and plot our next steps as a nation and as a state to how we're going to keep people safe and get this economy back up and humming.
And Governor, with this recent surge in cases, does this put high school winter sports like cheer, hockey, basketball, and wrestling in jeopardy? I know there's a lot of student athletes and parents who are concerned they won't be a part of the decision-making process.
Well, those decisions are being made largely at the local level because we have over 800 districts across the state. But I just want to be very blunt in my assessment as a parent. I've had friends ask, oh, my child is participating in this, and some people are wearing masks, some aren't. You know what, if that was my child, I would pull them out. If you are going into a business and they're not enforcing the mask mandate, it means they're not doing what they need to protect you, and you should make a choice to walk out. Each of us has choices that we have to make, and none of them is fun, and it's terrible that we're in this position as a nation. And yet we have to have some personal responsibility here and make choices to protect our families, to protect our businesses, to protect ourselves. And so I'm calling on Michiganders. This virus doesn't care about a Supreme Court decision. This virus doesn't care about a legislative schedule. This virus doesn't care what side of the aisle you vote on. it is still a very real threat to all of us and to our economy. And that's why we have to continue to take this seriously. Let's get the politics out of the public health crisis, because lives and livelihoods are on the line.
When it comes to a national strategy, where are we on federal help? Last month, the White House denied full funding for the National Guard here in Michigan. Have you or has your office been in contact with the White House on any additional funding for National Guard troops?
Yeah, so I have reached out and I have asked repeatedly for a call with the White House to request full funding of our National Guard. Our Guard has done a lot of COVID-19 tests. They responded to the Midland floods. Our Guard has been on the front line every day to help keep people safe. And when the president has capriciously decided to fund the Florida National Guard, but not Michigan's National Guard, I think it shows that political decisions are driving everything. This is about supporting our military. This is about supporting our people and protecting us. And we need full federal partnership on both this and getting this fourth stimulus done in a way that we can help our frontline workers stay safe and help our kids get the education they need and run these critical services that are relying on it.
And finally, switching gears, Governor, new data from the Postal Service shows the Detroit region, which includes most of southeastern Michigan, is the slowest in the nation. Should absentee voters who've already mailed their vote be worried?
Well, I think that if you mailed your vote over a week ago, you probably should be okay. However, we are discouraging anyone from mailing anything at this point in time. Actually, for the last 2 weeks of this campaign, we've encouraged people to drop off their ballot. If you are concerned that your ballot will not be received by Election Day, you should reach out to your clerk and see what you can do to remedy that. You can go in person and cast a ballot, but you'd have to spoil the first one that you mailed. So you'll have to talk to your clerk to see how you can do that. Many clerks will tell you that your ballot has been received or not been received. That's a good piece of information to know as well. For those of you who haven't voted yet, you can vote right now in person, and I encourage you to do that. Don't wait until there's long lines on Election Day. We are still in the midst of a pandemic, and to make sure that you're safe and that you don't have to spend all day at the polling place, you can go any day between now and next Monday and cast your vote in person.
All right. Thank you so much, Governor, for taking the time to talk to us this morning.
Thank you.